see Francis. No wolves, nothing, no wolves. Don't think these steps were here either. Oh. Is this? This feels like wood, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not solid. It's.
No, and that thing hanging there is not very nice.
And you're not allowed in there.
I think you are.
Yeah. Oh, can we go in?
Well, that's the door.
Yeah. Oh, it's door. Oh, it's padlocked, is it?
Yeah, it's padlocked.
Okay. It's just a very small corridor. See, the smaller it is, the more energy you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This stone just beautiful.
Yeah. I'm glad you got a torch, darling. We have to have a look at those plaques.
Out there, yeah. Well, I thought it was Francis, but it's France.
France, huh?
I forgot my bloody watch, so I've got to keep looking at my phone to see what time it is. I should have had this one wound up. That's not wound up, guys. I've just got it there, working as a bit of a pendulum type thing. There's the Queen of the Day up there, Victoria. This is the Magistrate's Chamber. He gets really upset when we come in here because no one comes in here. This was his place. And you can imagine walking into, say, like a courthouse, Magistrate's Chamber in Sydney somewhere, you'd be shot.
Yeah.
You just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So if he's here as the ghost, which we call balls, and a storm glass, and an old school compass, and some coins. So it's all to do with that period again, 1880s, 1850s, when we're getting into the period of this, spirituality and the spiritual movement was coming ahead, and crystal balls and psychics and mediums, and again we've got the old school stuff here, and when we go next door we're going modern. So after we have a break we'll go for some electronic stuff. So electronic stuff, you're always going to get stuff because that's just the way it is, whereas this is more of a I'll call that one, it's a cheap one. Nah, it's not cheap. And then we've got the old school storm and glass. Now this thing here, if we break it, call an ambulance. It's pretty toxic stuff inside there. But look, this thing here, they say they would use this in the old day also to get a face to appear at it. Now my mate John helps me, he's more the scientific man. I like to sort of do more the spiritual stuff, but he's into the science, and unless you can see it and touch it, it's not really happening. So he's got a couple of these, and he's got some other gadgets that can't be manipulated other than so with the crystal balls, when we've got free time, guys, feel free to come back and ask a question of the ball. Again, you're looking for a symbol or something in there, or something that pops into your mind, and that'll give you an idea. Again, Yeah, we're not sure if they did or not, but the building's symmetrical, so we don't know if they just built it this way.
Ghost.
Or if it was set up so they could come in and out.
There's no way they walk through here. Get down there.
No, they wouldn't have come through the magistrates.
Yeah. What's that?
The chair or something. It's good because that's been going the whole night, hoping to capture something.
Yeah.
They use that
I've been getting energy on here.
Great. It's good to have a few different gadgets around
There's
the place.
something there, look. There's something on yours, darling.
I got
There's something there. Yeah, look, it's pink. So this room's more spookier than that one.
Yeah.
I picked that up at the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's a fireplace here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt there's definitely more like a presence, like maybe somebody's just trying to hide in this.
Take some shots, darling. Because it's smaller too. That's where he used to sit in there, wasn't in the other room. He used to sit in there, he did.
Squeeze in there.
I keep wanting to buy one of those, but I'm too scared customers are going to get it. Yeah, the laser grid.
Oh, that looks good. It's
Yeah,
really
that's
good.
really cool.
Really good.
So we've got a few things in here, pick up environmental readings. We've got the K2s. That's a static detector, that one there, guys. This is also a static detector. Now these two here never really go off, which I like that because we don't want them to go off the drop of a hat. I'll just close that door. Is everyone in?
Yeah.
Just close it up so the bats don't come in. Now this is the police station in here, guys.
No, I'm alright, darling. Yeah.
That's the wooden bench over there. Flogging table.
Stand up and film.
You'll be laid over that, flogged. We do have a ghost of a lady in here they call Mary the Tea Lady. Now we've got a couple of good photos of her and she just stands in the doorway here.
Tea lady.
And we'll hear her moving that cup and sometimes she moves the keys up there, so I'm just going to turn that meter up there. So it's good to have a few things around the room. The laser grids, guys, are normally just to give you a bit of a show of what these guys will do. So if they just say the ghost were here tonight and said, are you there? Could you... The meter's going off behind you, mate. But what we're wanting is this one here, this more serious piece of gear. It's got 0.0 on it. We were doing a house in Hazelbrook that was 50 millicouls. You went in there and your hair stood up. Still don't know what the hell it was. You know John and Jacob who do the steampunk stuff with?
Yeah.
They give me a hand sometimes. They're the scientists, and they bring all the scientific gear, and we just couldn't work out where the hell the CMF was coming from. And they were having nightmares. They've woken up, bruised on their faces. So we got to the bottom of it. We just think there was a massive electrical problem with the sub box in the house.
Yeah.
So we set up a heap of stuff there. Didn't actually capture any ghosts, but it stopped. So we just think it was more of an electrical issue that was in the house, and they're waking up seeing fires everywhere, like in their heads, like their heads were on fire. So their brains were being fried by electromagnetic frequencies out of the power box, the whole house. I might turn those off because they're not that good for your eyes.
Where did that cupboard come
You'd
from?
normally shut the door, and you'd ask for the spirits to either touch one of the lights of Francis Mayer in here. She'd go to more the doll and the ball, and if you move the ball in the night time, if you roll it, it lights up. And we've had that go off at Woodford Academy. We've had it roll up the corridor and then come back, and it's rolled back a couple of minutes later. So the idea of that is the close of the night, you basically got to bang it to go. Simple Simon. This is the sort of stuff that kids want to play with. So if you're looking for ghosts and you want to get in that interaction, if you're in a house where there's children, we could have a doll turn off. Oh, that's okay. That's just.
I want to have a look at one of the images that I took.
So what you can do is you can actually go around when you're doing ghost busting, and you can find where all the electricity is. Where you can find who's got a phone, find where the power point is. You can find where here, see the power over here.
Oh, it's this.
There's a bit of power there.
The camera.
And then again, if it's power, it will always be constant, but it's not smooth. So then you chase it down. Normally your ghosts are low and slow, spirits are high and fast vibration. So if you're getting a lot of spikes and you're feeling stuff around your legs, you can normally pinpoint it. And you'll find this tiny little spot that only just there is where that meter will go. There's no power point there, there's no microwave dish. The only thing you've got to rule out is your mobile phones, which are ridiculous for. Have you guys got a meter there? I'll grab that one there. This is the static detector. I don't have to touch it, I've just got to come in close proximity to it. And it should just go off. It'll go all the way up if I touch it. I've only seen this thing go off once or twice. You've had any movement on the lasers, you've had any of this gear go off. This one's okay because it beeps, so you can hear it beeping. Whereas the other ones are great because sometimes you want to be really quiet. You can just point and you go, you don't want to talk, you just point to the lights flickering away. Come into the ladies' cell, bring in the cameras.
I'd love to see some on the wall or something.
It's bad enough in the day.
If you've got a full spectrum camera there,
Figuring out how to find it.
Yeah. That's where I got there. I just stood there and
Where
it's
Joy
got,
was,
yeah, the whole thing
here?
come around my head. Yeah.
now the guys that have been before will know where all the faces are. Hop on this side of the wall, guys, and look to this. This is our artwork.
Yeah.
You've got this face and that kangaroo. That's about all you can see on the whole wall. But if you look through the special cameras, you will see many, many faces there, which are done with, we believe, blood. So if anyone's got a full spectrum camera, hop behind and have a look at the cameras. The thermal won't pick it
I'll try
up.
and get in front so that more
Yep.
people.
Thermal won't do it. It's different sort of camera. So the full spectrum's picking up bloodstains, body fluid, invisible ink. There's about 20 faces in there, guys, that you cannot see.
Mama, you're standing in there.
Framed with a mask over his eyes.
Oh yeah.
That's Michael Lynch Mad Dog, we believe,
Can you see it?
Yeah,
who
yeah,
was
see?
16 years old in
Oh, yeah.
It's tickling me, that is.
1877.
Got like something black over his eyes.
And if you come through here, you'll see there's a lady here
Yeah, she
with
looks
her
like a
hair all
babe.
done up. I'll squeeze out so you can have a look. And just to the right of that, up a little bit more, is the magistrate with his wig.
Here we go.
Again, you can't see hardly any of these faces. Yeah, have a look at this one. Zoe, you grab that camera, you might be able to have a look through that one.
Look at it.
You've got to get in a bit closer and you'll start to see their eyes. Most of them have got
Look at it,
beards.
son. Who's on
Some
top?
of the ladies have got like big hats on. You're looking 1850s, maybe 1870s when they sort of dress that way. Courthouse closed 1887, and we know there were a family living here for many years. But
And this was the kids'
A
bedroom.
bedroom.
this was the kids' bedrooms, is what I've been told. Yeah. Now, there's not a lot of carvings in here, except this one over here. There's Michael Lynch, 15 years old in 1877. He robbed the Carcor Bank with John Vane. There's William Jones, age 35. His wife's on the hologram out there. Head back into the men's cell. Go out that way.
This is
Have a
the
look at
ladies'
the door
one.
on the
this
way
one,
past. This is the ladies here. The door's pretty interesting, guys.
Yeah,
It's got a lot of carvings in it.
yeah.
And all these claw marks down the bottom look like, we're hoping they're not fingernails, but if you look down there, you'll see a heap of sort of fingernails. There's Mad Dog, Michael Lynch, who's the 15-year-old. And it says, spell it backwards, God, which is goddamn. Mad Dog is goddamn backwards. House of Content, that sounds like something the ladies had probably put on there. Some believe that this is some sort of a bushrangers that, but to me it just looks like how many days they were there and they coloured it in, but I'm not sure. This guy was from Campbelltown, Michael Lynch. Head into the men's cell. Now the men's is just full of carvings. We've had some pretty good activity here over the years, guys. We've had full-on people being grabbed, pinned onto the walls. I got slapped across the face here one night by something. I don't know what it was, but it really put the wind up me. That would be my couple of things that's happened in 15, 16 years of doing this. So everyone thinks they're going to get their head ripped off and this demonic thing's going to take over their body. I've seen like 2 or 3 of these things in 20 years of sort of doing this stuff. This is the really good one up here. This is Miller the dog. He's the hangman. So Miller, who was a bushranger, the story is that he joined your gang incognito as a dog or an informer, did the robbery, went back to your caves, split the gold up, then he went and informed on you. But if you look at the T's, they're actually like hangman posts. So they called him the dog, the informer, then people were hanged because of his, I suppose if you're a bushranger, unethical behaviour. So then they nicknamed him the hangman. They never knew his name. Some say he did this to half a dozen different gangs. Some say he got a dozen people hung by being an informer. Gold fever got him. So up the top of Mount Victoria, when we were kids, Blackheath, my mum come from Mount Vic, she said there's gold in them hills. And she was referring to Miller the dog, who would do the robbery. They'd go back to the cave, he'd split it up, our gang, 10 ways. You'd all go and hide your little stash somewhere. And then he'd gob on you and go back knowing that everyone's been arrested and put in jail. He'd go back and lift up the logs, the rocks, go through the cave, the tree stumps, gold, 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 gold. So greed got this fellow, and we don't know what happened to Miller. I've spoken to Steve in the office over here. He's been here for like 30 years, and he said some say this is a manufactured story because we can't find any paperwork on it to say who this guy was. But we've got his name, Thomas Miller. Apparently he was from Goulburn, so there it is again, hangman dog. And up here, this fellow never finished the carving. You've got Thomas Miller, see the T's? They're actually the hangman game you play, so there's got to be a lot more to it than meets the eye. I don't know how many times Luke came out of Echo Vox in there. Did anyone hear it?
Yes.
This guy here has actually come through the box before with his full name and the date he was in here through Echo Vox.
Maybe that's the one that was hiding in the church.
I don't know. Look, we've got his name there. We've got the date. I've never really tried to research him, but when you've got a date and you've got a full name, it's quite easy to go through and try and research them and find out their names. Over here, guys, you've got all the fighters, the boxers, got their fists up all the way along there. It was illegal to play sport here on Sunday. It was against the law. You had to go to church. You had to be sort of say your prayers and get your name ticked off. And if you didn't, it was 3 hours in the stocks, which are sitting out in the windowsill. Second offence would be 5 days jail. Third one would be solitary confinement outside for up to 7 days for men, 3 days for ladies. The hangman nooses again here. There's 2 nooses there. More kites up here. So this is a map of where they came from, where they were going, what they stood for, what they were against. This one here says Italy to Belfast in 1 year. I've been in here for about 14 years and I still find carvings that I didn't see the week before. Up here, the kite is the fine, so if we want to fly our kite, we'll fly it any day we like. But the establishment was you had to go to church, you had to get your name ticked off until, the military took off. You've got some pretty good carvings in here, like Joseph Emblem would probably be the best. It's like he's done that with an engraver. That's 1841. Earliest ones here is 1837. Now, thank God they never ripped this timber off and threw it away, because normally they rip it off, and this is a history lesson. You don't pick up much in here with the full spectrums, with the special lights, except a couple of big letters on the wall over there, which looks like they've been done with a bit of ink.
Where did they get the knives to carve?
Look, I don't think this was used for hardened criminals. So back in the day when I was a kid, I had a Bowie knife, which was about this big, a bow and arrow, and I was just right around the town with it. If you did it now, you'd have about 40 riot squad on you, and everyone had pen knives at school. You had slingshots. I think back in the day it was a little bit different, and everyone sort of had a knife and a pen knife. So in other words, the guys in here weren't hardened criminals. Some say next door is where they put the hardened ones if there weren't any women, like John Walsh, who killed Caroline Collett, the lady in black. This is where they chain you to the floor. You'll see some